Welcome to another exciting edition of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com, sponsored by AVET Project. Folks, as you know that are regular listeners, this program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, and a pencil or paper to jot down a note or two, because we're always efforting to bring you important information that you can use and share with others. And today, just like always, I'm really encouraging you to grab that pen and paper, because we got it coming at you. With that said, let's get this show off the ground. My name is Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project. But you also know I never fly through the airwaves alone.
Good morning. I'm Glenn McGuffey. I'm retired Air Force and also retired manager of the Brevard County Veteran Services team. As usual, we're going to bring you an exciting, interesting, and informative show. And I want to foot stomp what Garen said. Get a paper and pencil or even a pen together, because we're going to give you some addresses and information you might want to jot down, especially if it's something you're personally interested in or affects you personally. But let's get that good, exciting show moving here, Garen.
Well, it is a busy show, and I want to just remind everybody, if by chance you can't find that pen or paper, you can go to 1300WMEL.com, click on the Archives tab, and we have them listed by title. And we want to thank John O'Hara and Vince, our board engineer here, for all the work they do to keep this updated. And you'll be able to go back and catch past episodes, share them with your friends, or dig out the information that you forgot to write down today. Well, as always, we are so pleased to have in studio with us a regular guest of ours that does a phenomenal program. And really, Glenn, the operative word here on her program is that it is
free.
Free, our favorite word here on American Warrior Radio and WMEL. We have with us a representative of the Space Coast Community Law School and attorney, Britta Hawkins. Hi, Britta.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, listen, you're here on a Saturday because you got some incredible news to share about the latest term of Space Coast Community Law School.
Right.
Before we get to that, give the audience a little refresher about yourself, how you came to be an attorney, why this is an important outreach of yours, and so on.
All right. Well, I am an attorney in the law firm of Telfer, Faraday, Anderson & Hawkins. We are up in Titusville. The firm has been established 30-some years ago, so it's an old firm. I personally focus my practice on Social Security, disability, and also some workman's compensation. The firm handles criminal, personal injury, and family law as well.
Excellent. And you mentioned Social Security. Vets have a need for that.
Yeah, and there's just as an aside on that, many veterans who have disabilities that prevent them from working or seem to be unaware that you can then also apply for Social Security, and there's no trade-off in the money between the two.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What is that program, that Social Security program?
Well, they just have to file a regular claim, and then Social Security applies their rules for disability. Now, if a person is 100% disabled due to a particular thing based on the veterans programs, then with that declaration, that needs to be submitted to Social Security as well as their discharge form. And the discharge form helps to expedite the veterans program, the veterans claim.
And that's something that's out there in the cyber world anyway, that the Social Security Administration is really pushing this so-called new initiative to expedite veterans claims.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you say it's been going on forever. They've been given expeditious.
I've done it for the last 7 years, so I don't know what's new about it, but
The advertising.
yes. Well, maybe claims have not been expedited.
Right.
Or maybe the attorneys have just gotten slack and not filed the discharge papers, or any other, the explanation of their disability. And those are generally, the explanation of the disability does not come from the VA clinic where we normally get the medical records. They come from Virginia, so that's a separate place where you have to order medical records, and there you get that explanation. Now, most people, all the veterans, they do have a copy of it, well, at least they're given one, and so that will be very helpful. It's usually a pretty good stack of papers. It's 40, 50 pages.
Right, and that's what the Social Security Administration needs to recognize, that that particular applicant has already been determined by the VA as permanently and totally disabled, unable to work,
Correct.
which should help them move the claim with Social Security disability along much quicker.
Yes. It explains exactly what medical records, what tests, what diagnosis was used to find the disability rating. And so then Social Security judges can say, okay, well, that's the basis there, and now what has happened since, what kind of treatment has occurred, and now then they apply the Social Security standard, which is different. And in the decision of the administrative law judge, he has to acknowledge the Veteran Affairs decision. Now, it has to be given some weight, and it just depends on the judge, really.
I understand. And Glenn, in your practice of over 20 years as the supervisor of the County Veteran Service Office, I'm sure you processed hundreds, if not thousands, of claims for permanent and total disability.
Well, yeah, and let me say this, talking about the interaction between the two, or the interface between Social Security disability and VA total and permanent disability. In my experience, it seems that if you have VA total and permanent disability, that goes a longer way towards getting Social Security to approve Social Security disability, whereas vice versa may not be true. You may first get on Social Security disability, and then you're applying for VA to raise you to 100% or give you individual unemployability, or you just got Social Security disability and you don't have many VA ratings. The Social Security bases their rating on your entire person and your
Right.
disability. The VA places awards their 100% rating based on service-connected disabilities and their impact upon your employment. So it's two different ballgames. Social Security looks at everything. VA looks at service-connected.
Right. Well, generally, when you receive the decision, they may be chunked up. For the leg injury, you get that much percentage. For the arm injury, that back injury, that. Now, Social Security, like you say, we're looking at the entire person and try to determine what is the residual functional capacity of that person as a whole, and the age, the education, any transferable skills if the person is older. The person is younger, we just say, okay, well, you may not be able to do what you've done before. However, you are able to be retrained to do something else.
Which is probably a catch-all, one way that the Social Security Administration likes to shuffle the claim off their desk. But as at Telfer, Faraday, Anderson, and Hawkins, you specialize in Social Security, so you encourage any of our listeners that are unable to work, whether they have 100% P&T from the VA or not, they should contact you and get some legal representation for Social Security disability claims.
Oh, absolutely. If anyone has any questions on Social Security at all, I'm always ready, willing, and able to talk to them. And so
Can you throw your phone number out there at your law office for them?
Oh, absolutely. My phone number is area code 321-269-6833. And please give me a call if you have any questions on Social Security and how it works together with the VA.
And let's repeat that for you. So if you didn't get your pen to your paper, 321-269-6833. And Britta, would you give them also your web address that they can contact the firm on?
Our web address is
www.sccls .com.
Sorry. Yes, they can contact, they can get to the website for the law school at www.sccls.com. They can also spell it out, spacecoastcommunitylawschool.com. They can send me an email at communitylawschool@yahoo.com. And they can send me an email privately to bhawkins@ctrfa.com.
One more time on your private email.
B for Britta, B Hawkins @ctrfa.com.
Well, that's a pretty good segue for what we really want to get out to the folks, and that's this free informational legal seminars. Free, can't say it often enough. And you've been doing this for a number of years now, and you have a spring term and a fall term. And explain the program a little bit.
All right. In the community law school, we give free legal seminars on a variety of different topics. 8 topics in the spring, 8 topics in the fall, on 8 consecutive Thursday evenings from 6 to 8.
That's Thursday evenings from 6 to 8.
And the law school is held in the spring and in the fall. We do advertise in the newspaper, so please look in the newspaper, listen to Warrior Radio, listen to WMEL 1300 in the Information Overload Hour. We advertise the program. It is free. It is to help people get the information that every household ought to know about on all the different legal topics, legal issues that people do get into on a daily basis.
Well, let's talk about, because you had your first class for the spring term just last Thursday, how to think like a lawyer. What kind of attendance did you have for that program?
We had 82 people in attendance. That was awesome.
Wow.
Lots of people want to become a lawyer, huh?
How to think like a lawyer. Well, it's a catchy caption there, how to think like a lawyer. Where are the seminars held?
The seminars are held at the Moore Justice Center in Viera, in the courthouse, in the jury assembly room.
Which is a large room.
Yes, everyone got a seat there. We have a podium, and it holds, I think, a little over 100 people.
So you almost maxed out with this one, which
that's great.
got to make it feel good for the start of the term.
Yes. Usually, this topic, I was not expecting that many people. For the gun law topic, yes, I will expect that many people.
And who are the type of folks that you bring in to give these seminars? For instance, last Thursday at How to Think Like a Lawyer, who gave that speech, that seminar?
Well, we had General Magistrate Kurt Erlenbach.
What's a general magistrate?
That is a person that has to be a lawyer and makes decisions in the family law court.
Okay.
And also guardianship and those kinds of things.
Well, outstanding. That was on 3/6. Before we go into the upcoming seminars, what do people need to do in order to attend? Do they need to pre-register or call you or what?
Well, we would request and strongly suggest registration, because every participant receives a 3-ring binder with an outline and a pen and some note paper, and so we need to be prepared. We need to know how many people are going to come.
Did you hear that? You get a free binder and note paper and a pen just for showing up so that they can take notes, and you also, each of the presenters provides like an
outline.
Yes, an outline.
Yes, yeah. For each class we hand out an outline so you can take notes, or you can take something home and read about it, and then maybe do some research if you're so inclined.
Do you have to sign up for each one individually, or can you sign up for the whole program at one time?
You can sign up for the whole program or for any one individual one if one is of interest for you and not the others. So it doesn't matter. You can all of each one.
Oh, that's great. And let me remind folks out there who may not have been to the courthouse in a long time or ever, that there is security you've got to go through, so don't bring your pocket knives and your handguns and a bunch of other metal
You
in
ain't
your
getting
pockets. Well, it's going to take you a while to get in there. If you bring the wrong kind of thing, you're not going to get in at all. So just think about that. You got to go through security. Maybe you've probably flown an airplane more frequently than you've gone to the court, hopefully, unless you're a lawyer. So bear that in mind. Otherwise, you'll be held up, and the people behind you will be screaming at you after a while. So
Exactly, and you
Yeah.
get started promptly at 6.
Yes, we start at 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, we have a 10-minute break, and then we stop at 8 o'clock.
And often the presenters allow for a Q&A, question and answer.
Yes, yes. And I leave that up to the presenter, because some topics are just where you cannot move on and wait until the end, because then the questions just are no longer right there and fit in. So
Right.
some presenters allow questions throughout. Some presenters, they wait until the end.
Right, and you were good enough to have my co-host here, Glenn McGuffey, give the presentation on veterans non-service connected pension last term, and I'm thinking you'll probably have that again. And you did that format. You let him ask questions as you went through.
yeah, that's always worked the best for me with that pension presentation that I do, because people will forget, just like Britta is saying. But if I have to make them wait till the end of the presentation, and if they didn't write it down, they'll forget, because I talked about 10 other things that spur other questions in their mind. So
Correct, yeah.
but that's just my style. Every presenter is going to have their own style, like Britta was saying.
Right, and it just is also, it depends on the topic as well.
And I want to share with everybody that you'll get you register when you show up to the law school. You'll be given your binder and your outline for that particular seminar. And then you bring that binder back the next week or for whatever classes.
Yes, yes. The repeat participants, they always bring the binders, and we ask them to bring the binders, because this is just a free service. And it's
Who helps to provide this service?
well, it is a project of the Barr Foundation
In Brevard.
in Brevard County, yes, and they are a liaison between the attorneys and the public, and so that's why this program fits right in. And one of our main sponsors is the firm that I work for, Telfer, Faherty, Anderson and Hawkins. We have Cooper Chiropractic, who made a monetary donation to the Barr Foundation for the law school.
Excellent.
Then we have WMEL and
Of course.
Warrior Radio.
Sure.
Then we have the Brevard County Legal Aid. They will give the speakers pro bono hours so that they get at least something.
Excellent. Because you have to do that, your continuing legal education type stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's it. Everybody wins there.
Well, no, it's pro bono hours, so it's just something that we have to do as attorneys. Well, we are asked to do that.
Yes.
We
It's,
don't.
you don't have to, but wink, wink, you should.
Right,
Okay.
right. And then we have the Florida Design Group, who is the group or the business that is hosting our website.
Outstanding. So hats off to all you folks and companies, including your law firm, and especially you for putting this on. Let's get into the heart of it. We've got lots of interesting classes coming up here. We've still got a couple minutes left on this segment of the show. What can we expect this Thursday?
This Thursday we talk about contract law. Ed Kinberg,
Ed is a wonderful guy,
a local attorney in Melbourne,
veteran.
and he will talk about contracts, all the different contracts that every household really actually deals with. You buy TVs, you buy computers, you buy cars, you buy property. So that's the topic and all the aspects of it.
And the following Thursday, let's just go down the list, kind of whet their appetite.
All right, then we're going to talk about trial process and advocacy. Judge Baker will talk about that, and that will just explain the whole trial process from jury selection to sentencing in the end and everything, and all parties that are participants in that process and their obligations, their duties.
Sounds very interesting. I would definitely attend that. I'll have to go online and register for that. And the next one, I think this is going to be a big hit.
Yes, we're going to talk about debt and credit card defense. Andrew Steele, a Titusville attorney, will educate us on that. We've had that topic on several times. I tried to change speakers, so each speaker generally points out different things, so it's always a learning experience. This is something that is still out in the community, and it seems like it's going to be there for a while.
And folks, we're talking with Britta Hawkins from Telfer, Faherty, Anderson and Hawkins law firm in Titusville, who graciously puts on and really organized and spearheaded the whole effort for Space Coast Community Law School, SCCLS.com. The next one I know you always have a big hit on. What's that?
That is firearms law. Our speaker is going to be John Kismadia. He is an investigator at the state attorney's office, and he's really an expert at the state attorney's office about the concealed weapons and the entire aspect of it, the laws, the changes of the laws, the proposed changes.
Outstanding.
So that's going to be a fun class.
And it's huge, well attended.
Well attended. There, I need you to pre-register.
Yeah, well, with 82 showing up for how to think like a lawyer, you need to pre-register for all these folks.
Yeah, in the firearms class, would that serve the purpose of the concealed carry permit?
We will talk about that as well.
Okay, good.
Excellent. And then finishing up on April 10th, you've got wills, trusts, and probate. Again, a very hot topic always.
That is really always a very hot topic. Everyone has to have some sort of a will, maybe a trust, and needs to know the process of probate. Our speaker is going to be Pierre Mummers.
Okay, and then after that?
Then we're going to talk about auto accidents from beginning to end.
A lot of changes in law there and getting care and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We're going to talk about, our speaker is going to be Robert Telfer, and then we're going to talk about the First Amendment.
Going to be huge.
Yes.
It's going to be huge. So again, people need to pre-register, and they do that at your website. Give the short address there.
www.sccls.com.
And the phone number?
The phone number is area code 321-269-6833.
Britta, again, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for the entire community as well as the veterans community. And this free outreach, the legal seminars, are just wonderful, folks. You've got to get out to them. Pre-register, sccls.com. Again, Britta, thank you so much for joining us and everything that you do.
Thank you very much for having me.
Folks, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started on American Warrior Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.